welcome to our live stream. It is so lovely to have you with us. I don't know where you're watching us, maybe on YouTube, maybe on Facebook, but we are thrilled that you're with us. My name is Lorraine. I run Formula Botanica, and we are here this evening UK time, to talk to you about our upcoming masterclass and help get you ready. And I am so excited to talk to you. So whilst we're doing some introductions, can you please also do some introductions and tell us in the chat where you're watching us from? Because I can see some people are on already. So type the country that you're in, because we have an amazing global community, and I always love seeing those country names. And in the meantime, let me also introduce Annika, who's with me from the Formula Botanica team. Hi, Annika, how are you doing?
Hi, Lorraine. Well, thanks. It's so nice to be here and to be talking about the ingredients that we'll be using for the masterclass. Really exciting.
It is. It's super exciting. So, Annika, tell everyone what you do at Formula Botanica.
So I'm a formulation tutor at Formula Botanica. I'm mostly involved with the lab, which is the membership platform. But I also contribute to content creation and all things education related.
Amazing. So you are in the right place with the right people. And Annika and I, we didn't arrange to wear the same thing this evening. We've managed to both show up in Formula Botanica green. So that's really awesome. Right. Let me just do a few shout outs, because you're posting up where you're watching from in the world, which is amazing. We've got quite a few people in the US. I'm seeing Texas. I'm seeing Nevada. I'm seeing Illinois. We've got South Africa, which is where Annika is based as well, which is awesome.
Yes.
We've got Canada. In fact, 2 people watching from South Africa, Czech Republic. We've got New York, UK, Washington, DC, Algeria, Philadelphia. Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for signing up for our big free masterclass here at Formula Botanica. We love teaching things like this. Like, this is unbelievably satisfying for us to watch, because it helps us on our mission to teach the world to formulate. We want everyone to have a go at formulation, because formulation is fun, it's easy, it's empowering. You're going to hear us say this lots and lots. In fact, if you've printed out your workbook for the masterclass, it even says it on the inside: formulation's fun, easy, and empowering. And the other thing we say all the time is everyone can and everyone should formulate. And that's why we teach things like this. So I'm thrilled that you signed up. I hope you got your ticket. If you haven't yet, there is a link with this video. Go and click on it now. Go and sign up. Go and get that ticket, because we want you to take part, because we are going to teach you how to make your own face cream. It looks like this. This is the one you'll see in the video. It's made with all sorts of botanicals. It's a pumpkin-based face cream, which is, very topical for this time of year. And you're going to have so much fun making it. So the webinar that we're running this evening, or wherever it is, whatever time it is for you in the world at the moment, like I said, it's evening here in the UK, is all about the ingredients that you will need if you want to take part and formulate with us and formulate along with the masterclass. Now, I do just want to very quickly caveat that by saying that if you can't get the ingredients, or you don't want to at the moment, that's totally fine too. If you just want to follow along with us, that's cool. But formulation is so empowering that if you do want to have a go, and we do always recommend having a go because it's so simple, then we're going to walk you through exactly what kind of ingredients are required. Annika, tell me about the first time you formulated. What was that like?
Wow, that was after I've made my first product, I couldn't believe I actually made something. I think it was a toner. I made a toner for the first time, and I was like, what? I just made this, and I can actually benefit from it. My skin can benefit from it. I can use it. I can remake it, give gifts for my family, for my friends. So that was really cool and so exciting. And as you said, it was really empowering to see what I was able to create. So that was just awesome.
That's amazing. And that's how we want you guys watching us to feel as well. Because if you've never formulated before and you then do that for the first time, you do feel so empowered. You're like, I made this with my own hands. And that's why we teach this masterclass, because we know how empowered you'll feel by the end of it. So we're here for between 30 and 60 minutes. It depends a little bit on you guys, really. If you have tons and tons of questions for us, then we will try and answer every single one of them and do our very best. If you don't, then we'll end a little bit sooner. But basically, this here is for you to learn all about the masterclass and how to prep for it, because we start on the 2nd of October. And I saw someone say, I didn't know there was a printout, but there is. You have one as well, don't you?
Yes, here's mine.
So get your workbook, go and download it, because the workbook will walk you through all the exercises with the different lessons that we'll be teaching. It's like a mini series, the masterclass. You can watch it in your own time. It's not live like this. It's all pre-recorded, because as you can see from the chat, there are literally people following us from all over the world. And there are all sorts of activities for you to complete. And we want you to fill in, the questions as you go along. So make sure you have your workbook printed out. It is so satisfying as you can sit there, watch along with us, and fill everything in. Right. Can you tell us a little bit about what we're going to be making, Annika?
Yes, so we are going to be making a pumpkin cream. So it's going to be for your face, and it's got lots of botanicals in there that's just so beneficial for your skin, and it's suitable for all skin types. It's not just for specific skin types, so it's for all skin types, and it's just an amazing botanical rich face cream. And inspired by pumpkins, which is, I believe, now autumn there where you are in the UK or the Northern Hemisphere. So it's so suited for autumn season as well.
Amazing. And just in case anyone's wondering what this 22271 behind my head is, that's our live student and graduate counter. So we're not currently in an enrollment period, but when we are, it ticks over in real time. There's about like a 2 or 3 minute delay. So we have 22,271 students and graduates in 194 countries, which is amazing. Literally pretty much everywhere in the world. There are a few countries still missing, and we are hoping that we'll entice some new students from like Antarctica and North Korea, but we're working on it. So yeah, if you're wondering what that big number is, that's our student body, and we've been around for over a decade. We've been doing this with the market leader. We are the OG of where you learn to formulate, and everyone comes to us, which is why we teach these masterclasses, because we want you to follow along. So if you've signed up, and I hope you have, tell me in the chat, actually, post up a yes if you've got your ticket. If you haven't got your ticket yet, click on the link with this video and go and get it. It's free. You don't have to pay anything to take part. And honestly, we could charge loads for this masterclass because it's so value packed. And people over the years have even said to us, I bought online courses, which I paid money for, which weren't as good as your free masterclass. But yeah, make sure you sign up because it is free. And then you will get sent to a study area. And that's where everything's going to happen. That's where the magic is. So you'll find a video there which explains exactly how the masterclass is going to work. You will find your workbook download as well. So you get I think it's in red. It's a big PDF download button. Click on it, download it to your computer, print it out like this. In fact, you could even send it to an online printer and have it bound so you can follow along. And then there's also a page where you can find suppliers. So if you want to follow along and make the pumpkin face cream at the same time as we do, then we have partnered with 8 different companies around the world who we love to bits. They're amazing. We're going to give a proper shout out to them in a minute because they work really hard to help you. And they've got these lovely little kits like one that I've got here. And it just gets shipped to you. And then you can formulate along and make your pumpkin face cream. So you don't have to shop around and look for different suppliers. You can buy it from one supplier. And most of the suppliers we're working with will ship to various countries around the world. So I think we've got most of planet Earth covered, which is awesome. In fact, let me just very quickly bring it up, and then we're going to go through all of the ingredients in there. So we've got suppliers in the UK, Australia, US, New Zealand, Canada, South Africa, UK, and then we've got one supplier who's in India, but will also ship pretty much everywhere in the world. So they are awesome. So if you do want to follow along, there is no excuse. You can get a kit, but they do always sell out. So you're going to have to be pretty quick. Right. Shall we go through the ingredients, Annika?
Yes, sure.
Right. Let's do that. Okay, I'm going to pull them up and Annika's going to talk to you about what they are and why they are awesome. And the first one we're going to start with, which I have here, and I should just say, this is a little kit I got from Aromantic. Hang on, let me just close the kit so I can show you properly. They shipped this to me over the weekend. Skincare Entrepreneur Masterclass Kit. Go Aromantic, you are amazing. Thank you so much for providing this to me. And then in the kit, oops. I mean to hit my microphone. You've got lots of little bottles. You've got your ingredients. We're going to talk about what this is in a minute. And then it even comes with some packaging as well. So you actually have a little jar that you can put your face cream into. Anyway, the first one we're going to talk about is chamomile hydrosol or hydrolate. What can you tell us about this one?
So we chose to use a hydrosol instead of plain water, since plain water is just plain old water, whereas a hydrosol can provide some skin benefits, and it smells amazing. It's got, since it's chamomile, it's got a subtle scent of chamomile, since it's part of the distillation process when they make essential oils. But instead of the oil portion that's on top, the water portion at the bottom is called the hydrosol, and it still has that chamomile scent infused in there. So it smells amazing, and it's got skin benefits as well. So it's not the same as just using water. It's an upgrade definitely on using just water in your formulation.
It totally is. And you know, most cosmetics out there on the market, if you go into the supermarket or the stores and you turn them over and you look at the labels, the first ingredient on the list is always aqua. And that means it's the biggest ingredient because they sort of rank them by size in the cosmetic product that you're buying. So most cosmetics you buy are just mainly water, actually. But because we're the botanical and organic formulation school, we like to use organic and botanical ingredients. And so we often replace that water with things like hydrosols. And you know, when I first started formulating, I'd never heard of a hydrosol. It blew my mind to learn about these ingredients because I was like, that's a thing. That's amazing. And then you start to realize that actually the byproduct of essential oil distillation is huge because, of course, you put all this plant matter into these distillers and you get these teeny tiny amounts of essential oils out, which are beautiful. But then they're left with all this water. And that is the hydrosol, like Annika said. So we're really excited to work with chamomile, which is the one that is in our masterclass kit as well. And I will be enjoying this one. I love chamomile. In fact, I have a big trough of it growing outside in the garden at the moment. Okay, and Aromantic very kindly have put 2 in my box because in the kits that you can buy, there is enough to make the face cream 3 times because we don't just want you to make it once, we want you to make it a couple of times and have fun with it. And you know, there might be a practice run as well that you can then discard, but we want you to at least have one good one by the end of it. Okay, next ingredient, and then I'm going to start answering some questions because I can see that there are some coming in the chat. So keep your questions coming because I am reading all of them. The next one is apricot kernel oil, which is here. Look at that. Let's see if I can pour some out. You can tell us more about it, Annika.
So apricot kernel oil, so it's classified as an emollient, and also it's a carrier oil that we will be using. It's got skin softening properties since it's an emollient, and this specific oil is lightweight and it absorbs quite easily into the skin. It doesn't leave a greasy layer. It's quite nourishing for the skin, and it can be used for all skin types. It's not just for a specific skin type like dry skin or oily skin. Even sensitive skin can use apricot kernel oil, and it also is rich in antioxidants, which is really beneficial for the skin, preventing free radicals and all of those free radical scavengers. And yes, so it just prevents oxidation happening on your skin and premature aging. So it's really a good oil to use as a carrier oil in your formulation.
And it's just really light as well. I mean, I just put 2 drops of it on my hand. It's an incredibly light oil. It's sometimes also used much like almond oil actually in massages. So it's a great one if you just want a nice light cream, which is what we're going to do. Now, we've obviously got, like I said, the hydrosol, which Annika just talked about, and the oil, and we're going to put them together. But if you've ever blended oil and water together, then you will know that they do not mix. So we need a magic ingredient that is going to combine them, which is what I have here in this little bag. And I will just mute myself and open the bag whilst we talk a little bit more about it. But this is an emulsifier. So before we talk about which one we have, can you talk a little bit about what an emulsifier is, Annika?
Yes, so an emulsifier enables us to blend water and oil together and keep it stable and keep it from separating. So if you would just blend water and oil, as Lorraine said, you would get two layers. But by using an emulsifier, you can make a stable blend of water and oil together into one product. Actually, then making your cream. They also call it an emulsion, where you combine water and oil into one formulation. You call it an emulsion.
Yeah. And this one here is called Olivem 1000. Now, you might hear that name and think, what is that? That sounds really chemically. What do I want this on my face? So let's talk a little bit about what it is. You can see it comes in flakes. That's quite a big chunk, but it's also got these little flakes. So can you tell us a little bit about what Olivem 1000 is?
Yes, so as said, it's an emulsifier. It's easy to get around the world, and it's beginner friendly. It's really easy to use. It's also certified by organic standards, which means it can be used in natural skincare products. And this specific one is derived from olives. So yes, it's really easy to use, and it also helps to thicken the cream as well. So it doesn't stay all runny. It thickens up and adds a bit of body to the product as well.
Absolutely. Now, emulsifiers, there are many different ones. They often have what they call trade names. So this one's a trade name. That's Olivem 1000. Its chemical name is cetiaryl olivate and sorbitan olivate, which is also here on the packaging, but you can't see that. We explain all of this in the masterclass as well. So don't worry if this is all a bit too much at the moment. Episode 3 is going to go over all of this as well. But I'm just preempting the questions we're going to get, like, where do I buy this? Can I buy the chemicals separately and mix them? That's why we recommend that you go and buy a kit, because the kit suppliers have done all the hard work for you. Right, so we've walked through chamomile hydrosol, apricot oil. We've looked at what an emulsifier is briefly. We told you a little bit about Olivem 1000. As we said, this one comes in flakes. But if you can't get hold of this one, well, we'll talk a little bit about substitutions in a bit. We've got a few questions, so let me just bring a couple up on the screen. Hang on. This person says, my face does not like oils. Can I replace the carrier oil with something else? I think the important point to note is you're not putting neat oil on your face when you're making a face cream. In fact, there's only a small amount really of the oil in the cream itself. What would you say to this person, Annika?
I would say, yes, I agree with you that not the whole formulation is not oil. I've also got oily skin, and this cream would work perfectly for my skin as well, since it's such a small amount. And if you want to replace the oil with something else, you can opt for what they call esters, which are more lightweight. But that will be discussed in lesson 8. So I don't want to go into much depth. But if your face doesn't like oils, you can replace it with something lighter. But this shouldn't be an issue since it's such a small amount.
And similarly, someone says, what if someone has an allergy to nut oils? Sandy, don't worry. We're going to walk through substitutions in the masterclass as well. You know, you could replace it with avocado oil, for instance, which doesn't come from the nut of the avocado. It actually comes from the fruit. So there are many, many different options. In fact, once you dive into the world of carrier oils, it blows your mind slightly and it becomes slightly addictive. We've also got quite a few people saying, do you have a supplier in this country? In this country, can they ship here? If you have your ticket, and I hope you do, I saw lots of people say yes earlier, so that's great to see, then you can head over to your masterclass study area, and on that page, there's a big button. If you click on it, it will take you to a page with all of our masterclass suppliers. Now, there might not be one in your country, but there is undoubtedly one that will ship to your country. Like someone said, do you have one in Germany? We don't have one in Germany this year, but actually we have linked to Alexmo, for instance, who stock many of the ingredients that we'll be selling. So you might be able to sort of create your own little kit by going to shop on their website. So don't worry, but go and get your ticket and go and check it out. And as I said at the beginning, if you can't get hold of the ingredients, don't panic. You can also just follow along and see for yourself how easy it is. But if you do want to have a go, we really do recommend it because it is so much fun. Right. Okay, let's move on. We've talked about chamomile hydrosol. We've talked about apricot oil. We've talked about the emulsifier, Olivem 1000. Now, now we're going to add 3 different botanical extracts. So the first one I want to talk to you about is, let me see if I can find it, pumpkin oil. And I've got some here. So what can you tell us about that, Annika?
Yes, so pumpkin oil is extremely nourishing oil. It's highly moisturizing for the skin, and it's also packed with antioxidants and just, again, so much skin benefits. And just a thing to note on pumpkin oil, the color may vary according to how the seeds have been processed. So sometimes it might be a bit more greenish, brownish, sometimes even orange, yellowish. So depending on the supplier as well, it might vary a little bit in color. So don't stress about that. That is totally normal.
Yeah, and you can see it here in the bottle. Actually, and I squeezed some out. I don't know if you could see the drops coming down. It's slightly, almost slightly orangey. Oh, that was just under the screen. That was very unhelpful of me. Sorry. But you can see it here in the bottle. It's like a darker color, but as Annika said, it varies. So if the one that you order turns out to be greenier, awesome. It doesn't matter, because that's the beauty of natural ingredients, right? They have variation. They vary by region of the world. They vary by growing processes. They vary by harvest. They vary by the soil quality. Anything can affect the ultimate ingredient that you end up with. But this is a beautiful botanical extract, and we're going to create a cream base and then add the pumpkin oil into it, which will actually tinge the cream ever so slightly in terms of color, which is lovely. So that's botanical extract number 1. My desk is filling up rapidly here with ingredients. The second one is here, which is pomegranate glycerite or glycerol extract. So can you tell us a little bit? First of all, let's start by talking about what a glycerite or a glycerol is.
Yes, so a glyceride or glycerol extract is basically an infusion that has been made with a botanical infused into glycerine. So in this case, pomegranate has been infused in glycerine for a specific period of time, and the beneficial properties of the pomegranate infused into this glycerine, which is now called pomegranate glyceride. And it's got, it then combines actually properties of pomegranate and glycerine into one ingredient. So now we've got glycerine, which is a humectant, which draws water from the environment to keep your skin hydrated. So glycerine is known for hydrating properties, and then we get the pomegranate, which is kind of like a skin active that can also give skin benefits and also anti-aging benefits. It's rich in antioxidants, so it's just an amazing botanical to add to this face cream.
It's good fun. And I mean, if you've never heard of glycerin before, it's often even used in cough syrups. It's been used sort of in medicines for years. We ingest it. It's very thick and gloopy and sticky, so we don't use too much of it, but it's a really lovely way of extracting botanical compounds from different plants, which is why we've included this glycerite in our pumpkin cream as well. So we've got the pumpkin oil, that's botanical extract number 1. Then we've got the pomegranate glycerite or glycerol extract, which is botanical extract number 2. And then the third one is right here. This is a lavender essential oil. You can already see it from the color even. Can you tell us a bit more about this one?
Yes, so lavender essential oil is primarily added for its lovely, calming, soothing fragrance that it provides. But also, apart from how great it smells, it also contributes skin benefits. So it's essential oil, so it's really concentrated. So you don't need a lot of it in your formulation. So this will just provide a gentle lavender floral scent to your product together with the chamomile hydrosol, and then just deliver skin benefits as well.
Yeah, it's a beauty, and it's a really nice way of just scenting your pumpkin cream, obviously, as Annika said. So we'll be adding the pumpkin oil, we'll be adding the pomegranate, we'll be adding the lavender. Those are the 3 sort of botanicals that we'll be talking about in much more detail in episode 5 of your masterclass, which will be available on October 4th. And then we come to the last 2 sort of more functional ingredients. So just a quick recap, we've talked about the chamomile hydrosol, we've talked about the apricot kernel oil, We've talked about the emulsifier we're going to use to bind it together. Then we talked about the 3 different botanical extracts that we're going to add to make it sort of plant-based and bring the story to life and add those beautiful extracts that will benefit your skin. And then we've got 2 functional ingredients at the end. And the first one I'm coming to is this slightly sticky one. I'm sure Annika already knows what this is. This is vitamin E. So can you tell us why we would add vitamin E to our face cream?
Yes, so we are adding vitamin E because it's an antioxidant, but in this case, it not only delivers skin benefits, but it prevents our oils that's in the formulation, like the pumpkin oil and the apricot kernel oil, from going rancid. So what rancid means is literally your oils going off, and oils that's off has an awful smell. You could definitely smell when an oil is off, and we don't want that to happen in our face cream. So we are just so all oils eventually they oxidize and go off and have that smell. But this, by putting in this antioxidant, you're delaying this process of happening. So giving it more months and maybe years to be stable.
Yeah.
So that is the reason we are adding the vitamin E.
I would squeeze some out, but it's very thick. It's very gloopy. I can't wash my hands here at the moment, so I'm not going to demo it. But you'll see it in the masterclass. And its chemical name is tocopherol. And similarly, if you ever buy a face cream, I'm sure you have one stood in your bathroom, go and have a look at it, turn it over, look at the label, and you might see the word tocopherol on there because it is such a common ingredient in cosmetics for all the reasons Annika just said. You know, it helps prevent your oils and your butters from going rancid. And if you have a cupboard in your kitchen where you keep cookery oils and you maybe have an old one at the back, I can certainly testify to the fact that we have that. You'll smell when it's off, and you don't want that. And this is why adding that tocopherol will help keep your botanical extracts fresher for longer. And obviously, when you're adding those beautiful extracts like the pumpkin oil, you do want it to stay good for as long as you can. So an antioxidant is not a preservative. It is an antioxidant. It helps sort of keep your product longer for good, but we do need to add a preservative because it is water-based. And by water-based, I mean it contains that hydrosol that we were talking about, which is predominantly water with those botanical extracts in it. So we have a preservative here. Its trade name is Preservative Eco or GeoGuard ECT. Talk to us a little bit about that, Annika.
So as you mentioned, a preservative is required when formulating water-based products. So when you add water into a formulation, you need to preserve it, as water can be a medium for microbial growth to happen. And we don't want that to happen in our face cream, especially you don't want to see fungus or mold growing. And now you need to apply that to your skin. You wouldn't want to do that. So that's why we need to add a preservative. So the preservative we chose, it's widely available and it's easy to work with. And it's also certified by natural and organic standards. So that means it can be used in natural skincare products. And here at Formulate Botanica, we are proud of preservation. So yes, so preservation is really important as it will keep your product preventing mold and bacterial growth on there for at least 6+ months. So
Absolutely.
yes, it's really important. You cannot create a water-based or any emulsion without adding a preservative. It's really, really important.
Absolutely. We are so hot on that. It's mission critical. Like if you're, and there are so many sketchy recipes out there on the internet, which is also why we teach this masterclass, because we don't want you to go out there and follow really bad advice. And believe me, we've seen all of it. We've followed some of it and tried it ourselves, and it never works. And we want you to make safe, professional, organic cosmetics and show you how simple and how much fun it is to make them. Right, so we've run through the 8 different ingredients. Just a quick recap, if you've recently joined us and you weren't here from the beginning, obviously Formula Botanica's masterclass starts on October 2nd. If you haven't got your free ticket yet, sign up for it now. You need to take part. It's the event of the year. everyone can formulate, and that's also what we're trying to show everyone. We're going to make this amazing pumpkin face cream. You're going to learn how to make this for free by following along with our incredible series. It is so much fun, and as I said at the beginning, many people over the years have told us that they've paid for courses online that weren't as good as the free things that we teach, like this masterclass. So really make the most of it. And when you have your ticket, make sure you go into your study area. You'll be sent a link. Save that email, go into the link, click on your masterclass workbook and go and download it. Make sure you have it on your computer. And, you know, if you're doing it on your phone, send it to, if you have a laptop or a desktop, send it to your desktop. It's always hard to retrieve PDFs on a phone for some reason. I don't know why they set things up that way. And send it to an online printer. Maybe they can turn it around in a day. That's typically what I do, rather than print it out myself, or print it out yourself at home. And make sure that you follow along with the masterclass and take part with the exercises, and we'll explain what you need to do in the workbook. And then also on that page, which you get when you sign up for your free ticket, and that email arrives in your inbox, and make sure you find that email and go and click on that link. There's also a list of all the different suppliers that we're working with around the world who have those lovely little kits, like the one here. I've emptied most of mine, actually. It's all on my desk now. But this was from Aromantic in the UK, but we are working with suppliers literally all over the world. South Africa, India, New Zealand, US, Canada, you name it. And you can go and buy your own little kit, which will help you and allow you to make that that pumpkin face cream 3 times, so you can, have fun formulating. Right. We've got a load of questions that have come in. I'm going to try and answer as many of your questions with Annika as possible. Thank you so much. If you have questions, keep them coming. That's why we're here for you, to help you get prepared and help you take part and get the most out of this masterclass. Because what I don't want is for you to sign up and not take part, and then look back afterwards and go, oh, I missed it, because it just won't be here forever. You know, there's a finite window of time in which you can take part. So make sure you're ready. Right. This is probably the best one to start with, because I think this will unlock quite a few other questions. What about preservative options if we don't have GeoGuard ECT or Preservative Eco, which is the preservative that we're using in the masterclass? What would you say, Annika?
I would say GeoGuard 221 is a good alternative to use. And there's also Hydrosol K712, if I can remember the name now out of my head. But in lesson 8, it will be explained what preservatives can be used instead of GeoGuard ECT. But the one I could recommend if you can't get GeoGuard ECT would be GeoGuard 221.
And the beauty is, in your workbook, hang on, let me just remove the comment. There we go. In your workbook, if you go to lesson 8 already, you can see lesson 8 is all about substitutions and other ingredients, or swaps, basically. If you can't get hold of any of the ingredients we're talking about, we run you through a load of others. So for instance, carrier oils that we'll show you in lesson 8, you can already see avocado oil, carrot oil, St. John's wort oil, infused oils as well. We also show you other emulsifiers. We show you botanical extracts. We show you different essential oils. And then we also have a list here of other preservatives that you could use. And Annika's just mentioned some of them as well. So don't worry if those names passed you by. I wouldn't blame you. They're all these chemical trade names are really complicated, but don't worry. They're all based on naturally derived ingredients that you can find in nature as well. So for instance, Preservative Eco, which we're using in the masterclass, where have I put it? Oh my goodness, where has it gone? Oh, here, right in front of me. That's based on salicylic acid, which was originally derived from willow bark, or sorbic acid, which was derived from rowan berries, for instance, or pine. It has glycerin in it, which we talked about earlier, which is a byproduct of soap making. It has benzyl alcohol in it, which is also found in different essential oils. It comes from different plants. So all of these preservative blends that we talk about can be found in nature as well. So if you have questions about, I can't get hold of this ingredient, what else should I use? Lesson 8, episode 8 in the masterclass will answer all of your questions. Do not worry. Right. What else have we got? And some people are asking about, what about this one? What about that one? Don't worry. We're going to cover all of this in the masterclass. Some people are saying, what's the difference between this one and that one? We're not going to go into that level of detail today, or in fact, even in the masterclass. We just want to show you how straightforward it is to formulate. But if you want to try a different one, go for it. That's what makes a formulator, someone who is happy experimenting and having fun with it. Right, what have we got? A couple of people have asked about the colors of ingredients. So this person says, what if my pumpkin oil is clear? Is that something that that matters at all, Annika?
Yes, so if your oil is clear, it's probably more refined. It's not in its like less processed state, if I can put it like that. Like butters and things can also be more refined, which take away the color from the ingredient. But if your pumpkin oil is clear, you can definitely work with it. But it might not give you that nice color that the pumpkin oil we're using would give. It will just it will be like a white color, your cream, whereas ours has a bit of a tint towards whatever pumpkin oil, if it's a more greenish pumpkin oil, it will have a greenish tint at the end.
Yep.
So that will definitely impact how your final formulation will look at the end of the day.
Yes. And on that note, this question ties in with that. This person says, can I use food grade pumpkin oil from the supermarket? Tying in with what Annika just said, our foods are often heavily processed. So think about it. If you go and pick olives from a beautiful olive grove somewhere in Sicily and you go and press them, they will probably be very, very rich in color and very, very rich in fragrance and very, very rich in flavor. And a lot of people don't want that when they're cooking. So they heavily process a lot of the cooking oils that we can buy, which is why they often don't have much of a fragrance. They don't have much color. And there isn't much to them because they've stripped out all of those plant-based compounds to leave you with something fairly neutral. Honestly, go and test it out. Go buy a really high-end olive oil and go buy a cheap one from the supermarket. You will notice the difference because those olive oils have been refined and squeezed, and they're often on like their fourth pressing by the time they end up in the ones that we buy to cook with. So just be aware that cosmetic grade is often higher quality than food grade. It doesn't mean you can't go buy pumpkin oil from the supermarket. If that's what you can get hold of and it's the easiest thing to hand, or go and do it, more power to you. But just be aware of the fact that cosmetic grade might be a better quality. Okay, what about this one? This is an interesting one. Can we use coconut infused pumpkin oil? Not come across that one before.
Never heard of coconut infused pumpkin oil.
No. But saying that, I mean, one other person, let me see if I can bring it up, said, why don't you teach us how to make the oils from scratch ourselves? We have the particular ingredients to produce locally. I'm sorry, I'm laughing, not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the idea of how much work that would be, because going to create pumpkin oil yourself means you obviously have to extract the seeds from the pumpkin. You have to cold press them. You have to obviously clean the oil. There'd be all sorts of things involved. We're just showing you how to make a face cream today and in the masterclass that we'll be teaching. So if you have the ability to go and create pumpkin oil, chamomile hydrosol, pomegranate glycerite, that is awesome. I mean, there's probably a whole business model and story behind your beauty brand there in itself. So yeah, try it. But we're not going to be doing that in this masterclass because that's quite a lot of work. Have you ever made your own hydrosols, Annika?
No, I haven't. I don't have the equipment to do that.
Oh, and that's the other thing. You'll need quite a lot of equipment to do so. When you're making the face cream that we're going to be teaching, however, you won't need a lot of equipment. In fact, spoiler alert, let me just grab it off my shelf here. We're going to show you our lab in a bag. This is all you need. It's just a tiny little wash kit, basically. Unfortunately, we don't have these for sale yet. I say this every single year and greatly regret the fact that we don't have a merch shop yet. But anyway, we'll show you. You don't need much. And in fact, you probably have most of the equipment you really need in your kitchen. So we don't want you to go out and buy expensive equipment, particularly not ones to create your own ingredients. Okay, let me pull up another one. Here's one for you, Annika. Is adding vitamin E essential, or will other antioxidants work without altering the formulation?
Okay, so that's a good question. So we prefer vitamin E vitamin E oil, or you can use rosemary CO2 extract. only those two are antioxidants to prevent your oils and butters from going rancid. Other antioxidants, like the antioxidants in the pumpkin oil and the apricot oil that we've mentioned, they are specifically giving skin benefits and not actually preventing your oils from going rancid. So that's why it's really important to use vitamin E and not relying on any other antioxidants. As mentioned, rosemary CO2 extract is another substitution that can be used. But again, this will be discussed in lesson 8 because there are some formulation differences when working with the different antioxidants. So yes.
We're going to walk you through everything. Today is really just to give you a flavor of which types of ingredients we're working with, to help answer any questions if you're thinking of buying the ingredients and formulating along. The lessons themselves are going to go deep into each ingredient, why we're using it. There are 2 lessons on preservation alone. We're going to explain exactly what the botanicals are, what they do, how they're made. So we'll walk you through all of it. But today is really just to help you get ready to take part and make sure, first of all, you have your ticket and that you've downloaded your workbook. Let me just show off the workbook again. By the way, hands up. Tell us in the chat if you've downloaded yours. Let's start with that. Tell us yes if I've got my workbook. If you have, go and get it. There's been an email sent to you. If you sign up for the masterclass, you just click on the link in that email, go find the workbook there, download it and print it out. Cool. All right. A few more questions. Would these ingredients and formulations be suitable for all age groups?
I think so, yes. That I think it can definitely be used for all age groups. Just be careful if you're using it on children. Just maybe stay away from using it on children. But any adults ages, perfect. You can definitely use it.
Absolutely. The preservative blend that we're using contains a compound called salicylic acid, which shouldn't be used on children under the age of 3. It's also it's a beta hydroxy acid. It's slightly more advanced cosmetic chemistry there, but it helps sort of slough off dead skin cells and freshen up your skin. 3-year-olds and under do not need that because they have perfect skin already. So but yeah, everyone can use this. And the beauty is we're not teaching you how to follow a recipe. We're showing you how the formulation's been put together so you can go and substitute. And that's what lesson 8 in the masterclass is all about. And please make sure that you watch all of it and get to that point, because you'll start to see how you could swap something else out and put something that you love into it, so you can create your own face cream that meets your requirements. And if you do want to make something for under 3-year-olds, you would then put in a different preservative. This is all about empowering you to think about what it means to become a formulator and showing you that everyone can do this. And I don't know if you can see all the products I've stood behind me, but I get sent graduate products from people who've got through our courses at Formula Botanica all the time. And I think a lot of people think that they follow recipes and all make the same product, but they all follow our teachings and they all create something different, which is amazing. And I love that they've all taken the same courses and made wildly different products because they can infuse their passion and their love of different ingredients into it. So you're going to be able to do that, or some of that at least, once you've taken part in the masterclass too. Okay, here's a question from someone called F. Does the face cream, I'm guessing, clog pores?
I would say no, it doesn't. It will not clog your pores. It's a really lightweight cream, so it shouldn't clog your pores at all. And if it does, and then you can just wash it off and maybe give it to a friend to use. If you feel it gives like a skin reaction, wash it off immediately and give it to a friend to use.
Amazing. Yes, it should be absolutely fine. But also, this is the beauty, as I said, of learning how to formulate. You know, if you find that you don't get on particularly well with one ingredient in there, you swap it out. You make something different. Everyone has their favorites. And every single formulator falls in love with different ingredients. And I want that for you too, that you fall in love with different ingredients that really mean something to you. And those might be ingredients that grow near you, for instance. We see that a lot with our students and graduates, that they live all over the world. I mean, we have students over 22,000 of them in 194 countries. And they all make something different, and they all get inspired by the ingredients that grow near them. So I want that for you guys too. Okay, let me pull up a couple more questions. Someone says, can you share the details of the Indian company that's selling the kits? If you have your masterclass ticket, there's been an email that's been sent to you. Go and find it, save it. You'll be revisiting that email probably a few times. Go over to the study area. There's one page where you can find everything, and there's a link on there to all of the kit suppliers. There are 8 of them, and I think it's probably time for me to give a good shout out to all of them. So let me just pull up my page with them. We have Aromantic in the UK. They're the lovely people who very kindly sent me the kit that I've been showing you over the last half hour or so. Let me just hold it up without throwing everything over onto my desk. Go Aromantic, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for sending me that kit as well. Lovely, lovely ingredients. We've also got Naturally Balmy in the UK, so we've got 2 UK companies represented. Then we've got Essentials of Australia in Australia. We've got Dauphine Organics in the US. We've got Go Native New Zealand in New Zealand, and they will only supply in New Zealand. Soap and More in Canada. Essentially Natural in South Africa, just around the corner from Annika. And we've got Moksha, who are based in India, but also they also have a supplier in the US, and they also they have an international supplier as well, who will literally distribute pretty much anywhere you want. And then we also list a couple of other, or 3 other countries, 3 other companies at the bottom of the supplier page, one in Germany and 2 others in Australia, who supply many of the ingredients that we use in the masterclass. And if you don't want to work with those suppliers, then obviously there are plenty of other ones out there on the internet, but these are ones that we've worked with for years. We love them. We think they're amazing. We want you to go and buy those kits. And don't forget, they always sell out. So if you don't go and get one now and you don't have it shipped to you, then not only will you miss out, you can still obviously take part in the masterclass. You'll have an amazing experience. You'll learn exactly how to formulate by watching us and following along. But nothing beats that really sort of getting your hands, well, not dirty, but clean, and creating a beautiful face cream. So go and order one now, because they're not that expensive. And it's a really, really fun investment in your own personal and professional development as well. That was a very long-winded way of saying, go click on the link in your email. Okay. Here's one. Dawn asks, why are we using this emulsifier versus another? So just to clarify, we showed earlier that we're using this emulsifier called Olive 1000. It comes in these little flakes. It melts. You'll watch us melt it in the masterclass, and we'll explain more about it in the masterclass. But why are we using this one, Annika?
So this one is widely available across the world. It's easy to get your hands on. So that's the main reason why we've chosen this one. And it's beginner friendly. It's so easy to use. And it's just a lovely emulsifier when you're just starting out and want to get into formulating. It's a wonderful emulsifier to get you started with emulsions.
It is. It's so simple. Like, we've picked things for you that are really easy to get hold of, really easy to work with, and also meet those natural and organic standards. And we'll talk loads more about this in the masterclass. This live is just to help you get ready for the masterclass starting on October 2nd. And just to bring this question up, because it ties in perfectly, where do I go to sign up for it? There is a link with this video, wherever you're watching it, under me on YouTube, probably under me on Facebook as well. I know the team has been sharing it in the chat too. So go and click on that link. Do not miss out, because you will miss out if you don't sign up. This is the formulation event of the year. You need to be there. We're going to have so much fun. We're going to make this pumpkin face cream, and you're going to see a lot more of this in the masterclass. Okay. Question from Sindhu, who says, well, how will be the calculation format? So how are we going to calculate? Are there any links for measuring the ingredients? Because all we've done today, of course, is talk about which ingredients we're going to use. So how does it work, Annika?
Okay, so this will be covered as well in one of the lessons. But the measuring, we are working in grams, not milliliters, not cups, not spoons. No, we are using grams. This is universal in formulation to use. So we will be using a scale to measure the grams that you need to weigh. So that is how we will be doing that. It's just a simple way since volumes change with density. So we keep it simple. We use grams always in formulation. It's not just us that use it. It's standard across formulation. Wherever you are, grams are always used.
Yes, I was just trying to see if I had my scales here, but they're still down in the film studio, unfortunately, where we filmed your masterclass for you. So don't worry, but you don't need anything fancy.
Mine over here,
There
just
you
to
go.
show. So it's really small and it's easy
Yeah.
to use.
Yeah, and you can so easily get little kitchen scales that go down to 0.01 grams. I mean, they're like $10 on Amazon. It's nothing really. So yes, we'll show you all of that in episode 2 of the masterclass. Do not worry, but we're going to show you exactly how much of everything you need in the lessons. And we've broken down the formulation across a couple of lessons, across 3 lessons, in fact. So episode 3, 5, and 7. So that way you can follow along, but it doesn't sort of overwhelm you in one go. It's a nice way of doing it. Right. Okay. Let's see. What else have we got? Oh, this is a good one. How do we know if the essential oil we're using is 100% natural or not? Sometimes it feels that even though it says 100% natural, it's not because it's so cheap. I'm sure this is something we all have experience of.
Yeah, so if it's really cheap, that could definitely be a red flag that it's not 100% natural. What you can do is you can ask your supplier for documentation. So that's one way. You can ask for MSDS or SDS. So that is the Material Safety Data Sheet. Or you can also ask for the COA. So that is the Certificate of Analysis. And in those documents, they will tell you all the components that's part of this essential oil. So this is a bit complicated,
Yeah.
but you can ask your supplier. But if it's overly cheap, just know that's definitely a red flag. Yes,
Yeah.
that is probably not 100% natural. And you can also look at the inky name. That could also give you an indication that if your supplier is actually reliable where you're buying from.
Yeah.
But yes, reach out to them, ask them a bit of questions about the essential oil. That will also give you an indication if it's 100% natural or not.
Yeah. And just to clarify, an inky name is like the cosmetic language that's used. Again, we're going to explain all of this in your masterclass. In fact, that one comes back in lesson 4. So don't worry if you don't know what that means at the moment. We're going to explain it all. And the other thing is, if you're worried about your supplier, don't worry. Just use the suppliers that we've put forward because these guys are awesome. So just go and buy a kit from them and it's been vetted. It's good quality. We've got you covered. Like, you don't need to go out there and buy from sketchy suppliers. We've given you a page with literally 11 suppliers around the world who we think are fantastic and who will provide you with amazing ingredients. And if you do enroll with Formula Botanica in the future, which you totally should, because I mean, honestly, we are the market leader, you get a supplier guide from us which has over 500 suppliers in it from around the world, and this is just a free bonus that you get with the courses, which in itself is worth hundreds. So yeah, don't worry. Just follow the suppliers that we recommend as part of the masterclass. We love them. They're amazing. If you're watching, guys, thank you so much for taking part. You're helping the world formulate. Okay, let's see. Someone says, I've just joined now. Will I receive a recording? Yes, this will stay here on YouTube. So if you want to come back and watch it again, come and watch it again. And we'll sort of demystify exactly what's coming. So yeah, don't worry about it. We've got a couple more lives, actually. In fact, the next one is on Wednesday, the 24th. So that's in 2 days' time at 4 p.m. London time, where we'll be talking about equipment in a little bit more details, because we know that people just like to be prepared. So if that's you, come and hang out with us on Wednesday as well. And some of the team members will be live. Right, a couple more, and then we're going to wrap this up because we've been going for almost an hour and you've posted loads of comments and questions. So thank you so much. I'm going to answer this one real quick. Rija says, do you also teach the formulation of biotechnology related products like enzyme cleansers? Yes, but not in free masterclasses because that's quite advanced. We have an advanced diploma in organic cosmetic science, which in fact we completely revamped in 2025. It's awesome. Go and check it out on our website. You can put your name down on the wait list for it. And we go into far more advanced things there. But baby steps, the masterclass is all about getting you started if you haven't formulated before. or if you only have a little bit of experience and you want to start seeing what it's like to formulate, then this is absolutely for you. And we often see a lot of people have trained elsewhere and then they come back to us and they start from scratch because they realize that they haven't been trained properly. So we have all of the advanced stuff too. That's not what the masterclass is about. It's about getting you started and getting everyone to make a face cream. This one contains pumpkin. It's beautiful. So make sure you've signed up for your free ticket and got your workbook because it's going to be awesome. And look at us showing off. Right. Couple more questions, and then I think we've answered most of them. So I hope I haven't missed any questions. Someone says, what are the fees? Yeah, the masterclass is free. Sign up for it. It's completely free. So come and get your ticket because that's why we're teaching it. We're teaching the world to formulate. Okay. Dawn says, can I use another oil? I don't like pumpkin oil or a different essential oil. Annika.
Yes, definitely. So that is, again, I think lesson 8, where we cover substitutions, where you will learn how to do the substitutions, which other oils you can use. But yes, you don't have to use pumpkin oil. You don't have to use lavender essential oil. You can substitute it for another oil and a different essential oil. But we'll teach you all about that in lesson 8.
We will. And don't worry, if there's anything that you don't want to work with or you don't like the sound of, that's what makes you a formulator, right? You're not following recipes. You're starting to create your own formulations. And Dawn has another question. She says, is there a code for the kits? There's a big page with all the different companies that sell kits. It will vary. There aren't any specific codes for it. We've just provided we've partnered with companies around the world who will be selling those kits to you. So you don't need a specific code for it. And each one of them will have different fees and different shipping. It will vary around the world. We can't standardize that because obviously we're a big global community. Right. Okay. So what would you say to someone who's sat here at the moment thinking, can I do this? Can I really formulate at home?
Yes, you can. Definitely. We all started out with like literally the bare minimum and just making that first formulation. Just get started, get that confidence going, and just empower yourself by doing it. And after you've created one formulation, you'll see how easy it is, and you wouldn't be able to stop. Literally, you would go down the rabbit hole of carrier oils and all the different oils you can use and botanicals. It's literally endless, and you can make things that resonates with you as a person and with your values. So that's the amazing thing of formulation. Just get started, and it's so easy, as we will be showing you in this masterclass. It's really so easy, and it's really, really fun to do, to show how easy it is to actually make it. And afterwards, you'll feel so empowered and you just want to remake that. So luckily, the suppliers give enough for you to make it more than once, because after you create it once, you would not be able to stop. You get quite addicted.
Yeah, it's true. I've seen it so many times over the years with our students. They make one and then they're like, oh my God, I can't stop. I need to make more things. And, if you can cook, you can formulate. If you can make a cup of tea, you can formulate. It's so simple. And the beauty industry has made us believe that you need to be like a chemist or a doctor, or I don't know. I don't know why well, I do know why they've done that. It's because therefore we'll go and buy their products rather than thinking we can make them at home. It is so simple. And that's also why we teach free materials like this masterclass. We have taught over 800,000 people to formulate for free over the last 10 years. That's huge. That's like multiple football stadiums filled with people who we taught how to formulate, because we want everyone to realize how empowering this is. And when you make your own pumpkin face cream as part of the masterclass, which starts on October 2nd, you will see for yourself how incredibly empowered you feel. So, I mean, we're really waxing lyrical here, but it's true because it's so much fun, like Annika said.
And you only need 8 ingredients.
Yeah.
That's not a lot. If you go look on ingredient lists on products you buy from your stores, it's long lists of ingredients. Here you just need 8 ingredients. It's so simple, and It's so fun to make, really.
Yeah, and we've demystified it entirely for you, so you don't just sit there and feel overwhelmed by it. We've broken it down step by step. We make the base of the cream first by adding the oil and water and the emulsifier. Then we make it botanical by adding in the botanical extracts. Then we preserve it, and we'll show you step by step how to do it. So don't worry. So we've come to the end of our live. Thank you so much for joining us from all over the world. I've seen lots of different country names come past. I think the main thing is make sure you have your ticket. Make sure you've got your workbook. Print it out. In fact, take a selfie with your workbook. Put it in the group that we have on Facebook. If you've joined us in there, it's huge. There's, I think, 97,000 people in there. It's called the Skincare Entrepreneur Mastermind. Again, it's linked from your study area. So just click on the button in your study area and come and join the group and share a selfie of you with your workbook so that we can cheer you on. So let's see what else. Important dates, I've said it a few times, October 2nd. And if you have any questions, just post up in the group or email us. We're here and we'll be live again this Wednesday at 4 p.m. London time, where we'll be sort of helping you prep a little bit and think about equipment. But just massive spoiler alert already. Sorry, team who's running that live. Everything you need can fit in a small wash kit. You do not need to buy anything expensive. You don't need to invest in fancy equipment. We've got you covered. In fact, you probably have most of the things you need already in your kitchen. And that's what we want. We don't want you to have to spend lots of money at this stage. We just want you to have fun with it. Okay. Thank you so much, Annika, for going through all the ingredients with me. That was really fun.
Yes, it was so fun going through them all and sharing each one's properties and benefits. And yes, it's just going to be a lovely face cream for you to make.
Yes, exactly. So if you want to formulate along with us, go and get your ingredients. We've run you through all of them today. If you want to just follow along, then that's totally cool too. The lessons are on demand, so don't worry, you'll be able to watch them in your own time. In fact, it might resemble a little mini Netflix series, so you can just sort of watch one after the other and then go back and binge watch them all in one go. So yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun with it. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. I can see, I hope we've answered all the questions. If you have any questions specific to Formula Botanica, just drop us a line as well. We're very happy to talk to you. We have a wonderful help desk team who are answering questions round the clock. I think they answer about 25,000 tickets a year. So we are here for you. Just email us at hello@formulabotanica.com and we'll be happy to help. We'll be back on Wednesday with our next live for the masterclass, just to help you get ready and put October 2nd in your diary. Circle it, big red circle, make sure you're there. As I said, lessons are on demand and they'll drop, I think it's at 1 p.m. UK time, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Hopefully I've got that right. We'll explain it all. It's all in the workbook as well. Thank you, Annika. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you. You too. And thank you for everybody joining.
Yes.